to our impromptu Tuesday live stream. Hopefully we'll have some people make it live. I know it was a short notice change. It's going to be a little bit more sporadic as far as the day of the week when we go live throughout the summer, just because some things have been shifting and changing around availability. But I'm looking forward to showing up for you all as consistently as possible. And this week, we're going to be talking about the summer solstice. We're going to be talking about some of these beautiful energies as we have Mars entering Virgo and the sun joining Mercury and Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. And wow, is this a dynamic that we have going on? I cannot wait to get into it with you all. Just the intensity of this with that final Saturn Jupiter square happening right around the time of the solstice, how all these planets are intermingling and interacting with each other. It's quite the smorgasbord of energy. And of course, this is all building up to the new moon in Cancer that we're going to have next week. And hopefully, if all goes as intended, we'll have that live stream on the moon itself. We shall see how that all works out. But we're here right now. We're going to get into it. We're going to just connect as always, to share our hearts, to share our energy. It's always an honor and a privilege to be in this space together and to be of service to you all. I appreciate you infinitely. Hello, Annika. Hello, Dee. Hello to everybody, of course, who is watching this on the replay. Let's just take a moment here to settle in. Breathe into our heart space. Filling that heart on the in-breath. Expanding on the in-breath and then expanding further on the out-breath as we send that beautiful, loving energy out into the field, out into creation. Hello, Ty. Hello, Michael. Hello, Plune. All right, we got quite a bit of the crew here already, so there we go. This is going well so far. Love it, love it, love it. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone feeling? It's been really up and down, at least the way that I've been experiencing the energies the past few days. It's been like really, I've been feeling really good and really grounded and really just grateful. And then I've had like really irritable, anxious days. It seems like it's been like back and forth, back and forth. So I don't know how everyone else has been feeling. It's been a fascinating energy, to say the least. Hello, Mama J. So happy to have you here with us today. And as we're waiting for people to hop on here, before we get into all of this fabulous, wild, and wacky astrology here, I do want to remind everybody to like this live stream, everybody who's on here already, everybody who's watching on the replay. If you are watching this live, or even if you're watching it on the replay, go ahead and share this live stream if you know somebody else who loves astrology, energy, ascension, spiritual growth, and evolution. What else? Anybody who is interested, we are going to Sedona in September. The I Remember 999 portal retreat meetup. There are two different options. You can stay in an Airbnb. You can stay in an Airbnb with me and have the extra VIP experience. Or you can meet up with us day to day as we travel to some of the gorgeous vortexes and other energetically beautiful and activating spots in Sedona. Activate the lands together, receive activations, just share in the beauty and the magic. Sedona is my favorite place that I have ever traveled. I'm so excited to be going back. I'm so excited to be going back with all of you. So I see Annika put the link in the chat. It's in the description box as well. So please, please, please go ahead and check that out if you feel called. You will know within your heart if you are feeling called to that trip. I know exactly who is meant to be there, is going to be there, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, back to the energies. Ty says up and down for you too. It's interesting, isn't it? Hello, Manju. Hello, Celeste. Welcome, beautiful. Hello, Sana. from India. Love it. Hello, King Alpha Male. Hello, we're going to say Newt. We're going to say Newt Dreams. Let's see what else. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Maduri. I don't know if I said that right or not. Yeah, I know. You've had a lot going on. A lot of us have so many shifts and changes, right? Rama. Love it. I'm always down for a slice. All right. This is big. I feel like I got to get rid of the gum so that we can talk about these energies because they are effing massive. All right, so let's set the stage here so that we all understand what we're dealing with and what we're talking about when we talk about these energies. We need to go all the way back to 2020. So in 2020, we had a lot of crazy astrology going on, as you can see, evidenced by the craziness that was going on in the world. I don't need to tell anybody what was happening in 2020. We all know. We all remember quite vividly. So we had Pluto and Saturn having that conjunction at 22 degrees of Capricorn at the beginning of the year. And then at the end of the year, we had Saturn and Jupiter meeting at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This was a massive, massive energy. And this was one of the real initiators of energy as we moved into the timeline for the age of Aquarius. Now we are having have been having our set of opening squares for this cycle. And we had 2 of them with Jupiter in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces. Well, now Saturn has moved on to Aries and Jupiter is in Cancer for this 3rd and final square. And there are 3 of them because of the planets going retrograde and then going direct again. So as they meet, both now direct within their new signs, there's a brand new charge of energy. When we were talking about these opening squares, we talked about them as sort of this check-in point along that time, our own personal timeline for ascension, as well as the world timeline for ascension. And there was a lot of completionary energy with Saturn moving through those final degrees of Pisces and Jupiter in those final degrees of Gemini. Now we're in a brand new energy in the very first few degrees. It's 1 degree. They're both at 1 degree, I do believe, during this final square. So we're calling in that new energy. We have Neptune involved in this as well, being that Neptune is at those very early degrees of Aries as well. So it's not just Jupiter and Saturn. We've got Neptune's energy influencing this as well in a really powerful way. And we also have, when we have the sun coming in and entering the equation, we have the sun kind of conjoining with Jupiter here, because on the 20th, the evening of the 20th with the summer solstice, we have the sun meeting up with Jupiter. So there's a lot of action going on with this final square. There's a lot of expansion with Jupiter involved here, with Neptune involved, a lot of mysticism. There's a lot of this really birthing our dreams into reality. So this is where we've checked in on some of the heavier themes and energies surrounding like what we need to release, what we need to let go of, what we need to master, the lessons we need to master with that Saturn and Pisces energy, right? And now we're moving the perspectives that we need to employ, where we need to broaden our perspective, the new information we need to take in with that Jupiter and Gemini energy. And now we have this gorgeous energy with the Aries energy of what it is we're initiating, what it is that we're creating, how we're bringing those dreams with that Neptunian energy into reality. And there's a big emotional expansion here as well with Jupiter. And then the sun moving in later on. It was on the 15th is when the square was exact, but we're still within the squaring energy as we have Jupiter and the sun there. So this is just really, really beautiful, gorgeous expansion. This is where our hearts are expanding to meet with our creative potential, right? The heart, the emotion, the intuition being the Cancer energy, the potential, that spark being that Aries energy, right? Masculine and feminine. There's a lot of dynamic creational energy here. And now it's really like, okay, so what are you birthing? What are you birthing? What dream are you bringing into reality? What is your dream for the greater collective? All right. And what actions can you take? How can you align your heart and your emotional nature along with your actions in order to really gain traction within this process? And what is your individual part that you are playing within this greater collective process of ascension, within this age of Aquarius timeline and vision? What is your vision for that energy, and how are you going to bring that into fruition? So it's a really gorgeous energy. We also have here, and it's much more personal. That was the other thing that I wanted to say about this. It's much more personal because it's in Cancer and Aries. All right. So these are, if we think about Pisces is a very collective energy. When Saturn was in Pisces, it represents the unification of all, right? The oneness principle. So there's a deep collective theme when we were working with that energy. Gemini is a bit more of a personal energy, but it's concerned with all the information, all the facts and figures. It's very social. It's a very interrelational energy. And Cancer is as well, but Cancer is ruled by the moon. So it's our deepest truth, our deepest emotional nature. There's really nothing more personal than the moon energies. And then that Aries energy, that Mars energy is our life force. It's our vitality. It's that primal energy within us. All right. So these are very personal planets, and just it feels like there's something much more. I'm trying to figure out another way to say it other than more personal, but I don't know. Nothing else is coming through. So I'm not going to repeat myself 100 times, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like there's just something about it that feels different, that feels more important, and that feels like it bears or carries greater weight as far as our own individual experience of these energies goes versus the way that we're experiencing this as part of the collective. So hopefully that sort of paints a better picture of what I'm trying to say with all of that. Now, we also have Mars, who on the day that we're filming this, which I do believe is the 17th, and you guys know how I am with days, but days of the week, I believe it is the 17th today. So Mars is entering Virgo. So we have that energy as well. And Mars is in a sextile to Jupiter, which means that, and it'll still be in a loose sextile to Jupiter when we have the sun entering Cancer and joining Jupiter. So Mars is really playing into this equation as well. And he's bringing more of that action energy in. And remember, he is the ruler of Aries. So we see that connection here as well. So there's a real ability to get things done with this energy. There's a real ability to expand into a greater vision of ourselves. That's a big part of what I see this energy sort of bringing through for us, is that ability to expand into a greater version of ourselves, to really expand the parameters of how we see ourselves and to begin to redefine that energy, which is, needless to say, as we always say, gorgeous energy there. I love it. Lisa says, I'm feeling it. Yeah. Matai, if you are interested, check out the description box below. Check out my website, raw Reiki entity removal. Something like that might be helpful. Might be helpful for you. We're not going to get into that too much on here, but I do talk about entities and energies like that. And you may want to book a session for that. Raw Reiki entity removal. Or a hypnosis healing. They're in the description box, or they're on my website. You can email me. We can set up a session. Yeah. And you know, Dee, sometimes that's how it is. You know what I mean? It's like, we just got to keep pushing through. I think honestly, one of the most liberating things for me was when I realized that life wasn't about being happy. That's not what this existence is about. When I had that expectation, like I was supposed to be happy and feel good, like it made everything harder. And then I realized that's not what it's really about. We're here to grow and learn. And in the third dimension, that generally is not always a pleasant experience. And part of what we came here for was for the whole breadth of human experience, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, all of the emotions, all of the intensity that we can really only feel when we have this perception, this misperception, right, of separation. And so yeah, I don't know. That just like really set me free in a lot of ways when I was like, oh, that's not what it's all about. Like, yes, we want to move toward our bliss. You know, we want to be as playful as possible. We want to make this experience as light as possible because it can be very heavy. But we're not going to be happy all the time, right? That is that search for constant happiness is what fuels the addictive sort of energy and experience that we have within our reality, where everyone's chasing the next high, right? Everyone is constantly trying to get that dopamine rush, get that serotonin rush, get that euphoria, right? That's not, life isn't always that. Life is everything in between. So just giving ourselves permission to feel whatever it is that we're feeling and to go through whatever we're going through, and not feeling like it's like life is a failure because we're in a tough place, and just pushing through. Sometimes that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I also wanted to acknowledge here, Lefterus, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hello, Ashley. Yes, Ashley says, I'm going to read your comment because it's perfect. Trying to show up in each moment like I chose it eliminates the requirement that I'd be happy and rather just accept. And that does lead to more happiness in the long run. Long run. Absolutely. Right. Because we did. I love it. And I chose it. When we use that as our mantra, it's incredible how that shifts the energy too. Right? That's that energy of seeing everything as an advantage, everything as an opportunity for growth, for expansion. I'm looking at the chart here for the solstice. See what else we have going on that feels noteworthy. We have the moon moving into conjunction with Chiron as we move into the later hours of the day. Moon, or actually no, moving out of conjunction as we move into later hours. So earlier in the day, the moon will be in conjunction with Chiron, who's at 26 degrees of Aries now, in conjunction still 1 degree apart with Eris. And this energy is actually in, and I don't know that they have a name for this in astrology. If they do, I haven't learned it. But we got a quintile and 2 biquintiles here, and they make a triangle that looks similar to a yod. And this, to me, I know that people call T-squares talent squares sometimes, but this is, to me, this is like the talent triangle when we've got these 3, because quintiles and biquintiles, they represent gifts, natural gifts. So it's like this gorgeous energy of some sort of powerful gift coming through a level of healing that's finally been completed. And I say finally because it feels like it's been a long time coming. This is possibly to do with those Aries themes of independence, of assertiveness, of courage. I'm feeling that courage very strongly. And we got a Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, and also the South Node in Virgo as sort of the other points in this. So there's this, it's like the expression and the expansion of our being, the expression of our wisdom, the wisdom that we've gained through this and many lifetimes, and some sort of wound that's healing around our empowerment, around our ability perhaps to allow ourselves to be seen, to show up, to lead. And there's energies here. This is related to service with this Virgo energy. Service, purification. Once again, it's like bringing through some sort of gem that has been, it's like I'm seeing the process of the diamond, how the diamond is refined. You know what I mean? Through lifetime after lifetime, and through layer after layer that we've peeled off in our healing process and our self-discovery process within this lifetime, finally having some wisdom that's coalesced, that's ready to be shared. And this could be with Black Moon Lilith. It could be something a little bit more taboo. It could be something that goes against cultural norms. This is just, I don't know, it's a really powerful energy. And we have Astrea here, which is another asteroid that is conjunct the Great attractor. And I haven't worked a lot with Astrea. So I'm going to just do a little check here. Justice. Oh, she's associated with Virgo energy. Isn't that interesting where we have that South Node in Virgo? She's associated with the golden age, a time of peace and virtue. Interesting. So this is us moving toward justice, moving toward virtue. Let's see. The Star Maiden. Yeah, I didn't even notice this until I was reading the chart right now. So we're going to dive into this for a minute here. Because there's an attraction, there's an expansion with anything that's connected to the great attractor. Remember, this is one of the most magnetic points in space. Literally sucking in entire galaxies. All right, drawing in. The only point in space greater than, with greater drawing power than the great attractor is the Shapley attractor at 2 degrees of Scorpio. So this is a massive energy. So I really want to look into this. Creative intelligence, justice. All right. So this is very much that age of Aquarian energy, right? Because this is what Aquarius energy is all about. And this is what the New Earth timeline is all about. That utopian idealist energy. I feel this as connecting us as well to aspects of ourselves when we're looking at our lifetimes in Atlantis, in Lemuria, in these great powerful civilizations. So it's like drawing in those codes. I feel like she's almost transmitting those codes to us through the great attractor here, and really helping us to draw in these memories, to draw in and like become a receptive point to these energies, these memories, and these past life activations. Yeah, this feels really powerful. So she's really going to be helping us to attract to us what is going to assist us in birthing our own individual Age of Aquarius timeline. And First Human says, how can we bring change into the world where everybody can live happily? By changing ourselves, right? What was that? What's that quote? Somebody help me out here. It's something like a wise man, like and I'm not calling you a fool by any means. So please don't take it this way. I think this is the quote, though. It's something like a foolish man wanted to change the world. A wise man chose to change himself. Something like that. So it's just this idea that ultimately when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. We are the biggest impact that we can make on the world by moving through our own healing, by making that difference in our little corner of the world that really ripples out in a big and powerful way, and being that example of change for those who also are seeking that, for those who are ready to embrace that. Sharing the wisdom, sharing the knowledge, sharing our own experience humbly for whoever it is that wants to listen, for whoever it is that wants to hear, whoever it is that wants to pull up a chair. For some reason, that's like the exact verbiage that's wanting to come through there. Let's see. Yeah. I actually want to look up one more thing here with this, if I can find it. So thanks for hanging in there with me, everybody. As we're moving through, let me see if there's any other questions in the chat here. Let's see. No, I think that's it. All right. Anyone who's on right now, who's planning something for the solstice? a ritual, a celebration. Let me know what you guys are, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are up to. I feel like there's a window, a powerful window of energy that opens. I mean, it really feels like it's already opening now, right? Remember, time is fluid, so there's no exact dates for this, but that really opens between the solstice and that new moon in Cancer. Like there's this beautiful, like energetic doorway that kind of opens up for us here that we're being invited to step through. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find what I was looking for. It's fine. I think we've got an idea here of Estrella and sort of like what she's inviting us into a deeper sense of integrity within ourselves, helping us to attract perhaps the experiences that are going to help us to understand where it is, how we have healed, where it is that there's still healing to do, how it is that we are in touch with our ideals, right? And help us to move closer to that. And we're going to get ready to pull some cards here. The greatest challenge that I've ever faced, I mean, I think a lot of people would say probably healing from addiction. But honestly, I think I'm still facing it right now. I'm moving through it. And it's just all of these old limiting belief systems, right? The reprogramming of the mind. And I'm getting ready to put a course together for everyone surrounding this because I've done so much work on it over these past 5-6 years or so. It's just really working through that and sifting through all of those, understanding how much my mind creates my reality, and then deciding that I'm going to shift that energy. And the process of doing that, I think that's honestly the greatest challenge I've ever faced. And like I said, it's an ongoing process. Just being incarnated on this planet, I think, is the greatest challenge. I think a lot of us, a lot of starseeds, like we really struggle with that because it's just so restricting compared to the energies that we're used to, the energies that we like remember on a cellular level. You know what I mean? So it's like the belief systems and all of that. And honestly, just like the day-to-day maintenance of my physical body is an ongoing greatest challenge. I think, you know, there's so much that goes into maintaining this vessel that we have, that our souls tooling around this planet in. I wish I could say that like the greatest challenge I've ever faced was something that I've already overcome, but it's all ongoing. You know what I mean? It's all ongoing, unfortunately. But I chose it and I love it, right? As we say. Let's see. Presence is powerful. Being present in this moment. As they say, this is the only moment we truly have. So let's look into here. All right. We haven't used this deck in a while. The Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot in honor of the upcoming Cancer full moon as well. And we might tap into some Intuit Oracle too to see what messages want to come through. Hello, Ash's Edits. We're going to see what guidance we have. Clear. What guidance we have for the upcoming week. Oh, what does Spirit want us to know? Let's some guidance, please. Hello, Miranda. Welcome, beautiful. Clear yourself. Clear your energy. I actually literally heard cleanse yourself. I was guided to sage myself last night. I was getting ready to do a video, but then some other stuff came up instead. I did do one before this, so we should have one coming out soon here. But I've been guided to do a lot of energy clearing, a lot of energy cleansing as we're moving into Cancer season, as we already have Jupiter and Mercury within the sign of Cancer. There's just a lot of that watery energy, a lot of emotional energy that's going to be coming to the surface, a lot of initiation through the emotional body. So we really want to be cleansing. We really want to be clearing ourselves. All right, we got the moon here. Speaking of those Cancerian energies, speaking of that Cancer new moon, got the two wolves as always here. Look at the face in this card. I don't know why, that was just super funny to me. I've never looked closely at the faces of the people in these cards. I think she has a mustache. I'm not really sure. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just a very strange depiction. Very androgynous moon card. Strange artwork. All right, and we got the Nine of Cups and the intuition. All right, so this is what we're talking about with the Cancer energy here. All right, your intuition, your higher self really is bringing through something powerful. Is bringing through an answer. Is bringing through a memory, maybe a cellular activation. We were talking about those activations a little bit here. Light codes. Something that is going to lead you towards this deep, deep sense of fulfillment. There is a wish or a dream of yours that is in the process of manifesting. And the process of bringing it into your reality is going to be heavily guided by your intuition. So you want to get really tapped into that right now. All right, your intuition is giving you all the answers. If you've been asking for something like, where is my dream? Where is my manifestation? Where is my creation? Where is my fill in the blank here? It's like your spirit is trying to guide you, is guiding you, if you allow it to. So it's like, pay attention. Pay attention to your dreams. Some of you, your intuition is speaking to you very powerfully through your dreams. Remember this, what is reality, right? What is waking life but a waking dream? For some of you, your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment is your intuition and your connection to your intuition and your higher self. And Spirit's saying that is growing more pronounced at this time. Feed that, fuel that with meditation, with chakra clearing and balancing, right? Do a meditation where you open and activate your chakras. All you have to do to open and activate your chakras is think about them. You can visualize the color. See the colors going up from the root all the way to the crown. Visualize a glowing colored orb of each of those lights at each of your chakras. Set that intention to activate it. Feel it begin to spin, begin to grow. All right. I think I know I have some energy clearing meditations. There's a free one in the description box below. And I also have a couple in like one of the old playlists. If you go through my playlist, you'll be able to figure out which one it is that I did like years ago. If anyone's interested in energy clearing meditations. Some of you guys, I feel like if you have trouble meditating, just regularly, guided meditations might help. I've been uploading guided meditations for our members, channel members as well, from the Patreon calls. You can also join the Patreon. We do guided meditations on there as part of our calls bi-weekly. Let's see here. And this is also a reminder for people. We want to start working with our chakras from the bottom up. When you open up, when you start activating your higher chakras and your lower chakras aren't activated and grounded, that's where spiritual psychosis comes in. That's where you run into all kinds of problems. So you want to get really rooted and grounded and really focus. Don't focus so much. The upper chakras are naturally opening and activating as we go through this ascension process. Work with the lower chakras. Really get rooted and grounded. That's your sense of stability, your sense of safety, your sense of security. All right. You need that connection to this planet and that connection to I hate to say this reality, but in a sense, right? So this is kind of a warning, I think, too, for some people who've been heavily focused in your upper chakras, listening to maybe like tons of pineal gland activations, third eye activations, blah, blah, blah. If you're starting to feel like flighty, if you're starting to feel anxious, if you're starting to feel just like disconcerted, it's like you need to ground your energy. Ask spirit to show you, ask your higher self to show you colors. If there's a chakra that needs balancing, ask your higher self to show you the color of the chakra and pay attention to what color you start seeing a lot. That's the color of the chakra you need to work with. That's going to be like a fun way for somebody to connect to their intuition around that. We got the Three of Cups here. This is celebration. So this is definitely something. All right. And this is an interesting message. So for some of you, you've been feeling or sensing something getting ready to come into your reality. Something that perhaps you wished for a long time ago, something that you've been in the process of manifesting or creating, and it's getting ready to come in here. It's right on the edges of your consciousness. Spirit's saying you tap into it in your dream time. You tap into it in your in-between time. It's like so close to manifesting into this reality, and you can feel this or sense this. And Spirit's saying, work with that energy. All you have to do to bring it the rest of the way through is to celebrate it like it's already here. And stay in that frequency. Temperance, balance, patience. I feel like there's been a lot of patience. Patience is perhaps something that you've been learning for quite some time here. And the Spirit of Pentacles. So this is definitely manifestation energy with the Spirit of Pentacles here. This is learning how to work with and cultivate that manifestation or creation energy. Whatever it is that's about to come through into your reality, it's something really positive. Some of you might be feeling anxious just because it's like you can sense it coming, but it's not quite here yet. And you're wondering when it's going to show up and you're wondering what it is. But like, I'm getting really positive confirmations that this is a really good thing that's showing up for you. Temperance is Sagittarius energy. So that might be something with that Sagittarian energy, with those themes. So this could have to do with higher education. It could have to do with travel. It could have to do with expanding your worldview, expanding your philosophies, your faith, absolutely, your belief. Something that you're... Oh, this is interesting. So it's like when this thing comes through into your reality, because this isn't just like a random gift from Spirit, right? This is something that you created, that you consciously cultivated through cultivating your vibration to match, through all the work that you've done to get to this point. Your testimony is going to be required or requested, but it feels more like required. Because other people need to see that they can do this too. That's part of the reason that you've been so diligently crafting and creating this opportunity for yourself, this reality, this timeline for yourself, is to show other people that it's possible. Spirit's saying, don't lose the faith, stay in the vibration. Yes, obviously, everything waxes and wanes like the moon. Like we said, there's been some turbulent energies up and down and all around, right? But overall, stay in that frequency. Don't fall off now. Hello, Joni, by the way. Got the Five of Wands here, but look at this. In this Five of Wands, she's not battling anyone. She's mastered her energy. She's not competing against anyone. Not even herself. Right? She's not judging herself against any standard except for her own. She's standing in her power. She has triumphed. She's taking inspiration from people around her. She's collaborating instead of competing. And she is holding steady, looking forward, like she knows that it's on the way. She knows that it's already there. And she's welcoming whatever that creation is in reclamation. She's reclaiming it. She's calling it back home. Right? Because it was what is yours is always yours. Has always been yours and will always be yours. It's just a matter of reclaiming that energy. And that's what you're about to do. I like this. We're gonna do one more of these, and then we're gonna go for go into the Intuit Oracle for a minute. Yeah, the High Priestess. This is you stepping into your spiritual power. This has also been something that you didn't fully understand, or some sort of knowledge that you are reclaiming as well. Some sort of spiritual knowledge, some sort of wisdom. I cut the big deck twice to the 10 of Pentacles. I love that. Clear. Let's get a few closing cards here. 4 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, for some of you, this is like a home that's coming in. If you've been manifesting a home or a change of location. For some of you, this is a career, reaching a certain point in your career, your business. For